Keir Starmer is playing a dangerous game if he thinks a simple phone call has suddenly reset his relationship with Donald Trump. The Labour Party spent years attacking Trump, ridiculing him, dismissing him as a threat to democracy, and now, with Trump back in the White House, Starmer is scrambling to make amends. But anyone who understands Trump knows one thing: he does not forget. And he certainly does not forgive. The so-called 45-minute phone call between the two leaders has been shrouded in secrecy, with conflicting reports on its length and content. Downing Street claims it was warm, constructive, and full of praise, but the White House's statement was brief, vague, and devoid of the pleasantries Starmer is trying to sell. Something doesn't add up, and the truth is likely far from the carefully curated narrative being pushed by Starmer's team. Trump is a man who thrives on retribution. When people cross him, he waits, he plans, and then he strikes when it hurts the most. He did it with Theresa May, who he initially praised but later humiliated when she failed to handle Brexit to his liking. He did it with Emmanuel Macron, who tried to play both sides, insulting Trump when it was convenient and then groveling when he needed U.S. support. Trump saw through it and made sure Macron paid the price, publicly mocking him and undermining his leadership. Now, Starmer is making the same mistake, thinking he can smooth things over with a few polite words and a diplomatic handshake. He's wrong. And make no mistake, Trump will make Starmer pay for Labour's past attacks. The question is not if, but when. He could hit the UK with trade penalties, imposing tariffs that would cripple industries already struggling post-Brexit. He could pressure Starmer on defense spending, demanding the UK increase its contributions to NATO under the threat of weakening military alliances. He could even use his influence to stir political instability within the UK, lending support to right-wing figures who seek to undermine Labour's grip on power. The reality is that Starmer is not in control. Trump holds all the power in this relationship, and he knows it. The delay in arranging the call itself was a message: Starmer is not a priority. When the call finally happened, Downing Street rushed to paint it as a breakthrough, but the inconsistencies are glaring. The supposed 45-minute call resulted in nothing of substance in the official readouts. No mention of key issues like NATO spending, trade tariffs, or any of the pressing concerns that should have been at the forefront of such a conversation. Instead, vague statements about close ties and mutual respect were all that was provided. That's not a 45-minute discussion. That's a rushed conversation where one man trumpeted and the other, Starmer, scrambled to save face. Starmer may think he has successfully navigated this first interaction, but he is walking into a trap. Trump is a long-term strategist, and he has no reason to let Labour off the hook so easily. He is waiting for the right moment to remind Starmer exactly who holds the upper hand. The phone call was not a diplomatic victory, it was a warning. And when Trump finally decides to strike, Starmer will realize just how costly it is to underestimate a man who never forgets.